Just on my way to go do some interviews. Check them out. Math, mindfulness.
Ooh, math. I was kind of good at geometry back in the day, but then once I got into college, I had to take the lowest math.
And so has there ever been a time where math has made you feel anxious or nervous?
Absolutely. Every time. I mean, if I had a math class right now, I would probably be scared because I feel like I would fail just because math is kind of hard.
So is there anything that you don't like about math?
I don't like that we have to think so much in math.
Well, what do you like about math?
And geometry. I like the shapes in math. That's probably about it.
Okay. So for the sake of math mindfulness, how do you use math in your everyday life?
I use math in my everyday life when I'm driving to kind of estimate how much gas I'm going to use and how much money I'm going to spend on gas. That's pretty much it. Oh, and money for food.
All right. Thank you.
And financing my bills. We need math in that all the time, but that's probably about it. So I'm good at that kind of math. When it comes to my bills and managing, I can do that because it's simple. But once you start getting into pie and all that, I don't know.
Well, what about the pies you be making? Do you cook without math?
Oh, actually, I do not cook without math because you got to measure the ingredients.
Okay, so do you think that you use math in more ways than you probably recognize?
Yep. I just realized it right now.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For me, math has always been a challenge. I think of stress. I think of anxiety. But I know a lot of good things do come out of math. Some of our buildings, engineers, some of our medicine. So, I mean, for me, math could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing. But for me, it gives me anxiety.
So can you tell us about a time where math has given you anxiety or made you nervous?
Yeah, I remember I was like maybe in a 3rd grade and my teacher was trying to teach me adding and subtracting and I just couldn't get it. And so I felt like I was so incompetent. My feelings, I remember crying. I remember just having that bad feeling about math and not being able to just solve simple things like all the other kids. So it's just I guess my interaction with the teacher in math.
And what don't you like about math?
I don't like what I do like about math is money. I like to spend money. I can keep track with money. What I don't like about math is algebra. It took me a long time to figure out how a variable equaled a letter and how letters are implemented in algebra. So I really struggled with that.
And for the sake of math mindfulness, can you tell us how you use math in your everyday life?
Like I said, paying bills. Also payroll. I'm a center director and I have to be able to figure out who came in, who clocked out, or how much money they get paid, raises, taxes. So math is everywhere. I mean, math is in our everyday life. You look at this room, there's squares, there's shapes, geometry. It's everywhere. We need math. Unfortunately, I'm just not good at it.
Numbers, words, problems.
Has there ever been a time when math has made you feel anxious or nervous?
In college, yes, math made me very anxious and nervous because it was one of those requirements you have to further your education.
Okay. What don't you like about math?
Too many numbers. Always too many numbers. And then you guys want to put in things that are going to go in sentences.
So word problems.
Word problems. You guys never told us that we'll have to do that.
Is there anything that you do like about math?
The only thing I like about math is adding up money.
So then that takes me to my next question for the sake of math mindfulness. How do you use math in your daily life?
I count money. No, I'm just playing. Well, being a teacher, you know, you're always counting. You're always trying to figure out if you have enough of something. But the things that I learned in college, I don't use in my everyday life. I use basic math skills in my everyday life.
Math, the first thing that comes to my mind is having a hard time, because ever since I remember, I have a hard time doing math, and it goes way back into like my childhood.
So was there ever a time where math has made you feel anxious or nervous?
Yes, it got to the point in which, you know, getting a math class in college makes me nervous because I know I need extra help, you know, and I never got the help that I needed probably when I was younger, so that's why I feel anxious.
So what is it about math that you don't like?
It's really hard to explain. It's probably word problems, like to put them in order. I think that's my main issue. Like, I don't have problems with basic math. It's just, you know, when it comes to algebra, you know, when it gets more complicated, that's when I'm like, you know, I need help here. So, yeah.
What do you like about math?
What do I like about math? Well, you know, I can see that why people like math so much, because it's, I mean, if you get it, I can see that it could be like really fun, you know, to know how to work with numbers in your head, like really fast, you know. I'm pretty sure it feels pretty good, you know, to see like an equation and just in your mind, like, you know what to do and just figure it out.
So
I don't like how, I just don't like how you have to do so many steps sometimes, because all of those steps to like solve a problem or an equation can get tricky for me sometimes. And then that's where I get all confused.
Is there anything that you do like about math?
I do like it when I know how to do the problem. I do like how it helps you, obviously, to like figure out a subtotal amount, or you know, that kind of stuff, because it's really useful in life. But I always wonder how useful the rest are, like calculus and all.
I use math, any like basic math, to figure out things as to like what percentage of my work do I have done, or what percentage of family assessments I still have to do, or different things like that.
Counting the things that you need before you leave for work. So, keys, phone, wallet, make sure you got your ID in there. Do you have this amount of cards? Are you forgetting an umbrella if it's raining outside? Like, everything adds up to a certain point, so you make sure that you don't forget anything. But you could be one thing short and your whole day is screwed.
Okay, and now do you have any advice, because you actually like math, so do you have any advice for people who might not like math or might be intimidated by math? Do you have any advice for them to make it something that they aren't so scared of?
The best thing I could say is to take it one step at a time. If you're looking at the overall problem, it's going to get intimidating. But if you break it down piece by piece and you solve one thing first, like, oh, okay, that wasn't hard, and you move up and continue, so by the time you actually finish the problem, it's not going to seem hard.